Hey guys, welcome to episode 30 of Talk Wrestling here on NoDQ.com, MySpace.com, and YouTube. Thank you everybody for watching the big comeback show we had last week. I got a lot of comments, got a lot of questions coming in, and people seem disappointed I don't get Ric Flair. I'm sorry. I really would like to, but he's just burnt out. So maybe somewhere down the line we'll have Ric Flair on this show, but for right now it doesn't look good. So. Today's show, we're going to have your questions, of course, and at the end, we're going to talk about Summerslam, which I believe is this Sunday. So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll get some SummerSlam predictions, and we'll talk about what's going on with WWE and TNA, and we'll get to your questions right now. Jesus, or Jesus, or however you want to say your name here. It's spelled like Jesus, but it could be pronounced Jesus. I don't know. I didn't look at your MySpace. I don't know what nationality you are. When Gregory Helms hopefully returns to the WWE, what do you think will happen to him, seeing as there's no longer a Cruiserweight Championship? I think you'll see Gregory Helms challenge for whatever secondary single title of the brand he's on. If he's on Raw, he'll challenge for the Intercontinental title. If he's on SmackDown ECW, he'll challenge for the U.S. Championship. Whatever happens to Gregory Helms, he's a lucky man because he's dating Velvet Sky. And so he's getting well taken care of at home. He's getting well rehabbed. Must be tough being a wrestler and dating Velvet Sky. Lucky bastard. Now, actually, I sent Gregory Helms well wishes when he first got hurt, and he responded very nicely, and he was very gracious. He said my letter was well received. He liked hearing from the fans a lot. I told him a story about how I was hurt in 2001 with a very bad car accident, and one of the highlights of watching wrestling that year was the Alliance storyline. Yes, nobody liked the Alliance storyline but me, but I liked it. It was a good story. And seeing Gregory Helms, Shane Helms, evolve into the Hurricane and be the European champion and the Cruiserweight champion during that era was very cool. And I remember he and Storm had a great match with the Hardys at No Mercy, I believe it was that year. And that just perked my spirits up, just to see those four guys tear it up. It was really cool. Hopefully they'll find something to do for Helms. He's a great athlete. I've always liked Helms. I liked him even when he was part of 3 Count. If everybody remembers 3 Count. Am I going back too far for you non-WCW fans? 3 Count. Evan Courageous, Shannon Moore, and Shane Helms. Look it up. There's footage there of them singing with Tank Abbott, who's supposed to be in the next Ultimate Fight or the next Cage Fight or whatever he's doing. He's back. It's funny shit. Iceman, do you think The Rock and John Cena will fight? Will Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold fight? Probably a better chance of Hogan and Austin than seeing Rock versus Cena. Yes, we all saw at the Hall of Fame that, Rock and Cena were going back and forth with one another and making fun of each other's movies and ha ha ha. But The Rock, I believe, is firmly done with the wrestling business as far as in-ring competition. When he gets inducted to the Hall of Fame, you'll see him back, but you won't see him compete in a wrestling ring, I don't think. Hogan and Austin, Hogan is having more fun being on Brooke Knows Best than being in the wrestling ring these days. And Stone Cold makes the occasional appearance. He'll probably be at WrestleMania next year in some capacity because it's in Houston, Texas. So, I don't think you'll see either one of those matches in the near future, if ever. And that sucks, because those will both be really good matches. Monkey, do you think TNA Wrestling should get a tag team belt for the Knockouts or WWE for their Divas? No. There are enough championships on all 4 shows. No more titles. No. And besides, there are enough knockouts on TNA to constitute a knockout tag team title, but there's no need for a women's tag team title. They compete for the singles championship, that's fine. WWE, there's not enough partnerships to go around in WWE amongst the Divas to form a tag team division. Unless like Beth and Santino are a tag team for the women's tag team title, which is funny. But no, there should be no women's tag. The women's tag team titles were around in the 80s. I remember the Glamour Girls were champions. The Jumping Bomb Angels were champions. But I don't see a need for a current women's tag team championship on either company. All right, this one comes from Evan, who actually I had a question on the show last week. At this point in the year, which WWE superstar do you think has the highest chances of winning the 2009 Royal Rumble and going on to win either of the World Championships at WrestleMania? That's a good question. It looks like at this point in the year, the best contender for the Royal Rumble win is probably going to be Jeff Hardy. I say that because Jeff Hardy was in line for a possible world title push last year before he got suspended. And now that he is back, there's a very high chance of him winning the Royal Rumble. If he does win the Royal Rumble, he'll probably win Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. But I think Jeff Hardy has the biggest chances of winning the Royal Rumble and going on to win either the WWE or the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Rob, do you think that WWE will produce a Rise and Fall style DVD for WCW, starting from the beginning, how the past superstars got their start, like Sting, Flair, Harlem Heat, etc.? They did the Monday Night Wars DVD, which covered WCW's history pretty much. So I don't think you'll see a Rise and Fall of WCW DVD. If they did, I'd buy it, because it would be a very interesting story to tell. And you could get Eric Bischoff to be on there. You can get David Crockett to be on there, because he was part of the early stages of WCW, back when it was still with Jim Crockett. I don't know. Excuse me. It could be cool to see a Rise and Fall WCW, but I don't think they'll do it. I really don't. This is from J-Ro. How do you think SmackDown will benefit with the new WWE Divas Championship? And do you think this is a way for WWE to compete with Wow. Do you think this is a way for WWE to compete with TNA's Knockouts division? I don't think WWE is really trying to compete with the Knockouts. I think that WWE has the established Diva brand. They have the Women's Championship on Raw. Now they have the actual Divas Championship on SmackDown. I still think they're going to try and push the SmackDown and ECW Divas to be better wrestlers. So it won't be a matter of you're going to see more pretty faces hold the Divas Championship than actual athletes type thing. In TNA, they have a great mix of both, and most of their good-looking women happen to be really good athletes. You've got Velvet Sky and Angelina Love, who are both very attractive, and they are great athletes. They've been on the independent circuit for a long time. They know what they're doing in there. Gail Kim is still one of the best women wrestlers in the world. The only exception to the rule as far as beautiful people holding the championship is the lovely Awesome Kong. But Kong's a really sweet person in person, and as far as talking to her on MySpace, but she's not the best person to look at. It is what it is. Raisha Saeed is also very attractive under the burqa as cheerleader Melissa, which you saw her on Impact a few months ago as cheerleader Melissa, so you know what she looks like. I don't think it's meant to compete with the SmackDown Championship, or the TNA Knockouts is meant to compete with SmackDown or Raw, or vice versa. I think it's just they're trying to establish their own women's division on each show, and that's all it is. This is from a guy who goes by the name "I'm kind of a big deal. People know me." Wow. I have heard rumors that WWE has or is funding Ring of Honor. Is there any truth to that rumor? I also heard that Vince used to fund ECW. Is there any truth to that? There is truth to the rumor that WWE and Vince McMahon used to compensate ECW for their talent. That was on the Rise and Fall of ECW. That's also in the book, The Rise and Fall of ECW, that Vince used to compensate Paul Heyman for picking up his talent, basically wiping out their talent pool. Unlike Eric Bischoff, who gleefully took ECW's talent away from them and had little kids cheer and fall down in the background. And that was always good for ratings, having the kids fall down. No, there's kids everywhere. It's a park. What do you want from me? I have not heard that WWE is funding Ring of Honor. I would find that very funny if it was, because Ring of Honor has a relationship with the NWA now. Little kids. Some more Nagel's laughing hysterically. I can feel it. Like I said, I would find it very strange if WWE was funding Ring of Honor, since they have a working relationship with the National Wrestling Alliance now. Matter of fact, congrats to Brent Albright for being the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. He beat Adam Pearce at a Ring of Honor show at it's Death Before Dishonor 6 at the Hammerstein Ballroom. The first time in the history of the NWA that the NWA Championship has changed hands in New York City, which has been a WWE stronghold for 50 years. So congrats to Brent Albright. That's really cool that you're the NWA champion. That's very exciting. Lister Fiend, who is better, Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels? The age-old debate, the 15-year-old debate, Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels? Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart? Well, I'll say Shawn Michaels. That's my answer. Shawn Michaels. This is from Edwin. What is the coolest finishing move in pro wrestling history, and what is the most devastating move in pro wrestling history? For me, the coolest has got to be the Stone Cold Stunner, and the most devastating has to be the vintage Tombstone Piledriver. Devastating, a piledriver or DDT, anything that drops you on your head is devastating, as Stone Cold found out against Owen Hart in '97. A reverse Tombstone Piledriver, or not a reverse, a Tombstone Piledriver dropping to your ass instead of your knees. That's very devastating. It can be, if not done properly. Rest in peace, Owen, but you fucked up. The coolest move has got to be a variation of the Piledriver, the Canadian Destroyer that Petey Williams came up with, and Trevor Murdoch was using. He did. I saw him use it a couple of times on Raw. That was funny. But the Canadian Destroyer is the coolest move I've ever seen. I saw it live in TNA. Was that really 4 years ago? Oh my god. At Turning Point, and I've seen it live at PWG and shows since. It's just a cool move to see in person. It's very devastating as well, but it's cool to see that much cooperation between two wrestlers to pull off a move like that. It's very exciting. It's very cool. Jordan wants to know, do I think Christian Cage or Eric Young have a chance of beating Joe for the TNA Championship? Christian Cage is always in the title picture. He always has a chance to be the next world champion, whatever promotion he's in. Eric Young or Super Eric, God bless him. He's fun to watch. He's incredibly entertaining, but I don't see him going any higher than a tag team title run or maybe the X Division title. I don't think you'll see him win a World Heavyweight Championship in TNA. That's just I think that's too far-fetched, to be honest with you. SummerSlam is this Sunday. As of this taping, we have 7 matches announced. I'll go over them briefly. The intergender, whatever you want to call it, tag team match, Santino, Marella, and Beth Phoenix against Mickie James and Kofi Kingston for Mickie and Kofi's women's and intercontinental title, respectively. Winner take all. I think that Mickey's been champion since April. She beat Beth for the championship. And I know Kofi's been champion since Night of Champions. Night of Champions, which was 2 months ago. Kofi hasn't really done much except go out and win on Raw. He hasn't really had a big storyline. I guess this is going to be his storyline. I think Santino's long overdue for another championship run. He would have been tag team champions with Carlito, but I guess that's over now since Carlito's on SmackDown, although we haven't seen him yet. So I think Santino and Beth will be the new champions, women's and intercontinental. Intercontinental women's, I said it. ECW Championship, Mark Henry and Matt Hardy. They're pushing Mark Henry as a dominant monster heel. I don't think you're going to see that change. Matt Hardy will probably put up a good fight, but I think he'll end up on the losing end of it. Let's see. Jeff Hardy and MVP, speaking of the Hardys. I don't see this ending decisively. I see this ending with some controversy. And I see Jeff Hardy pulling it out by the skin of his pants. But I think Jeff Hardy will win. What else? I lost track. Damn it. I know it's Hell in a Cell, Edge and Undertaker. Undertaker's going to win and go on to be world champion again, WWE champion again. CM Punk and JBL for the World Heavyweight Championship. Punk will retain. JBL is not, JBL is probably next in line to be your world champion, but I don't think it's time yet. John Cena and Batista one-on-one for the first time ever. I could swear that match has happened before. I really could. I could swear it. But I'm probably wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of things. I think that John Cena needs the win more than Batista does. But I think they both need to put each other over and establish themselves as faces again. So I think John Cena will win, and he'll come out smelling like roses as a result. And of course, Triple H and the Great Khali for the WWE Championship. If Triple H does not retain, there's going to be a huge uprising in the WWE universe, fan-wise. The fan nation will go crazy. So I think Triple H is going to retain. That's it for the predictions. Check out No DQ's coverage of SummerSlam this Sunday, live on pay-per-view. You'll see live up-to-the-minute updates on NoDQ.com every few minutes. They have like 7 or 8 different updates for each match. I love their coverage. Bye from Doc Wrestling.